Return to the Library of Doom. Rats on the Page by Michael Dahl. Illustrated by Bradford, Kendall.
Return to the Library of Doom. Behold the Library of Doom, the world's largest collection of deadly and dangerous books. Only the librarian can prevent these books from falling into the hands of those who would use them for evil. What happens when something decides that books are good to eat?
Chapter 1. In the Alley. Two boys rummage through garbage cans. Find anything good? Asks the smaller boy. The older boy, named Alex, shakes his head. But look at this, he says. Reaching deep inside the can, Alex pulls out a large, thick book. He drops it on the floor of the alley. "Don't do that," says Maddie, the smaller boy. "It might be valuable. We could sell it for a lot of money." The covers are made of smooth, dark leather. The edges of the pages shine like gold. "Rats," says Alex. The smaller boy looks over his shoulder. His eyes search the dark corners of the alley. "I hate those furry things," Maddie says. Alex laughs. "Don't be scared," he says. "I meant the book." He points to the old leather cover. Maddie looks closer. "Who'd want to read a book about rats?" he says. Then he sees something sticking out from the pages. A tail. Chapter 2. Furry Pages. Maddie jumps back from the book. Alex laughs again. "It's only string," he says. He opens the book and pulls on the tail. It's a fake rat. See? When Alex pulls the tail, a paper rat moves its feet. "Cool," says Maddie. "I bet we could sell this and make a lot of money." Maddie reaches down and pets the fake fur. "It sure feels soft," says Maddie. "Let's get out of here," says Alex. "I'm still hungry." Alex starts walking down the alley. Then he hears a loud squeak behind him. "Ow!" cries Maddie. Maddie holds out his arm. It is covered in rat-colored fur. Chapter 3. Rat Boy. Alex's eyes grow wide with horror. Maddie hunches over on the floor of the alley. He feels sick. Fur spreads across his back and legs. His fingers sprout hard yellow nails. Maddie's face grows long and hairy. Whiskers bloom on each side of his nose. His eyes are dark and shiny. "Maddie!" yells Alex. Suddenly, the rat boy jumps away from the book. He scampers down the alley on 4 furry legs. "Come back!" yells the older boy. He follows the rat boy through the twisting alley. As Alex runs, he sees other rats running in the same direction. The alley is soon filled with the furry creatures. Alex can't tell his friend apart from the other rodents. Finally, the rats all stop. They sniff the air. Alex hears a whistling sound. The sound seems to come from a dark opening in the alley. It is a manhole with its cover missing. One by one, the rats throw themselves into the manhole. Alex watches as their flicking tails disappear into the darkness. Soon, there is only one rat left. The last rat squeaks and squeaks. It stares at Alex. Its dark, shiny eyes blink with fear. "Maddie?" asks Alex. The rat dives into the opening. Alex steps closer to the manhole. He sees the metal rungs of a ladder. Without a pause, the boy climbs into the dark hole. He must find his friend. Chapter 4. Follow the pipe. Alex follows the sound of tiny feet. The scratching and scraping of the rats echo through the large sewer pipes. Soon, Alex is swallowed up in darkness. He stretches his arms out on either side to feel his way. His fingers brush the cold, damp bricks of the tunnel walls. His shoes squish through a trickle of dirty water. Squeak! Squeak! He hears the cries of the rats in the distance. The whistling sound has grown louder. A dim light glows up ahead. Finally, Alex enters a gigantic room. "Maddie," calls Alex quietly. "Maddie, where are you?" There are more and more rats. They cover the floor like a moving, living carpet. The rats climb over stone benches. They wade through empty fountains. They scurry onto shelves and nibble on the books. Alex hears someone laughing. Carefully, the boy creeps past the feasting rats. From behind a large bookcase, Alex sees a man standing in the center of the huge room. The man is old and thin. His eyes glow like red flames. In one claw-like hand, he holds a flute. In the other, he holds a leash. At the end of the leash is a giant, angry rat. The rat gives a fierce shake of his leash. "Don't worry, my pet," says the man. "I know that your little friends will soon need all the books in this chamber. But there are many more rooms in the Library of Doom. It will take years before my rats run out of food. And there is no one to stop them." Chapter 5. The Magic Flute. The man holds the flute to his lips. He plays a weird tune. The rats seem to move to the music. The man plays faster and faster, and the rats twitch their tails. They are nibbling faster and faster on the books. "How will I ever find Maddie?" wonders Alex. "There must be hundreds of rats in here." There are 1,000, and each one is chewing on a priceless book, except for one rat. The giant rat on the man's leash struggles and squirms. The man keeps playing his tune. That rat doesn't look happy, thinks Alex. I wonder what it likes to eat. The flute stops playing. The man is looking into the air. Alex turns to follow the man's gaze. He sees a strange woman flying above them. "Call off your beasts, spellbinder," the woman demands, "and return these children to their original forms." The man's lips twist in an evil grin. "Try to stop me, specialist," sneers the man. "You can't fight against 1,000. Chapter 6. E. The spellbinder quickly plays a few notes on his flute. The rats stop nibbling. 1,000 tails stop twitching. 1,000 pairs of dark eyes gaze at the specialist. Suddenly, they all rush forward. The specialist smiles and leaps into the air. "You forget that I can fly," she says to the evil magician. "Yes, I know you can," replies the man. "But I also know that he can't." He points a bony finger at Alex. The rats run toward the boy. Alex screams and covers his face with his arms. Something touches his wrists. "Ah!" he yells. "Don't be scared," says the specialist. Alex keeps screaming as the woman lifts him into the air. The rats leap at his wriggling legs. Their claws try to grab his feet. The woman looks down at the frightened boy. "You gave me an idea," she says. She rises higher and higher above the rat swarm. Then she opens her mouth. The rats don't move. They are silent. Alex doesn't hear a thing. The woman seems to be screaming, but no sound comes from her throat. Then the rats begin to scream. Eee! The scream of the rats grows louder and louder. Alex wants to cover his ears, but the specialist is still holding his wrists. Then the spellbinder's flute shatters. The spellbinder drops the leash. He flees into the shadows of the farthest bookshelves. As the broken flute falls to the floor, the rats begin to shake. The rats shiver and shudder. Their tails begin to shrink. Alex looks down and sees Maddie waving at him. The rats have disappeared. The floor of the library chamber is now covered with hundreds and hundreds of children. 1,000 of them. The specialist returns Alex gently to the floor. Alex looks around quickly. "What happened to that giant rat?" he asks. The specialist points behind them. Alex and Maddie turn and see another man. "This leash is a little too tight," he says. "This is the librarian," says the woman. "He is the guardian of the Library of Doom." The two heroes raise their arms and torches appear out of the air. "Follow us!" they shout to the children. Soon, 1,000 pairs of feet are padding through the pipes and returning to their homes. Soon, Alex and Maddie are back in the alley. "How did you make the rats scream?" Alex asks. "I made a sound that only they could hear," explains the specialist. "The sound I made was much worse than theirs. That is why they screamed." And the vibrations shattered the evil flute, adds the librarian. "But you were so quiet," says Alex. The specialist smiles. You're supposed to be quiet in a library. Remember? She says. The two heroes dissolve into the darkness. Then Maddie says, I remember something else. I remember that we're hungry. Really hungry. Look, shouts Alex. He points at the book that he had found in the garbage can. One of the letters has changed. Now the book's cover reads, Eats.